Every generation has that one player, the one who makes the world stop, the one who makes even the veterans say, this kid is different. In 2005, it was Lionel Messi, a skinny teenager from Rosario who turned Barcelona into believers. But now, in 2025, there's a new name, Lamine Yamal. And what's crazy is this, he's not just following Messi's path, he's beating it. Because at 18, Messi was learning from legends. At 18, Yamal is carrying them. This isn't hype. This is what happens when talent meets fearlessness, and when football realizes it might be watching something even greater. To understand how crazy this comparison is, you have to look at where they both came from. Messi walked into a dream. He joined a Barcelona side that was stacked with stars. Ronaldinho, Eto'o, Xavi, Deco. The team was already one of the best in the world, and all Messi had to do was fit in. He had mentors guiding him, superstars feeding him, and a system designed to let him shine. Yamal, he walked into a disaster. No Messi, no Neymar, no Suarez, just a broken club drowning in debt, banned from spending, and desperate for a savior. Messi's Barcelona was winning Champions Leagues. Yamal's Barcelona was struggling to even register players. That's the difference. Messi was born into one of the greatest teams of all time. Yamal was born into the rebuild in a poor Barcelona. And instead of being crushed by the weight of expectations, he took it on like it was nothing. When Messi was 17, he was a spark off the bench, a glimpse of what was coming. When Yamal was 17, he was Barcelona's main man. He was starting big games, deciding outcomes, and carrying a club through a crisis. Most players his age are still learning what it's like to play professional level. Meanwhile, Yamal is leading his team. And that's not a small thing. That's the hardest thing you can do in football. To step into chaos and not just survive, but thrive. That's why this isn't necessarily about disrespecting Messi. It's about realizing just how special Yamal's rise truly is. But now, let's talk about what Yamal has actually done, because numbers surely don't lie. At just 15, Yamal was training with Barcelona's first team. Not sitting quietly, not just learning, but he was competing. Senior players couldn't believe it. Here was this 15-year-old kid, barely enough to drive, demanding the ball from veterans and taking on world-class defenders in training. By 16, he made his debut, the youngest player in Barcelona's history. And he didn't look nervous. He looked ready, confident, like someone who had been waiting for this moment his entire life. Then came Spain. Most kids dream of their first call-up. Yamal didn't dream. He dominated. He became the youngest player to ever represent Spain, and a few months later, the youngest goal scorer in European Championship history. And it wasn't a lucky deflection or a tap-in. It was a moment of genius, a curling shot from outside the box, pure confidence, pure class. But more important than the records, it's the impact. Every time Yamal plays, Spain looks alive. They're faster, braver, more direct. A team once addicted to slow passing finally found a player who breaks the rhythm, who makes defenders panic. When Spain was fading into mediocrity, Yamal pulled them back into the spotlight. He gave them something they hadn't had in a decade, a difference maker. Messi at 18 had scored goals, sure, he had shown flashes, but he wasn't yet the heartbeat of Argentina. He wasn't carrying a nation. Yamal is. When Spain needs magic, they look to teenagers. When Barcelona needs an assist or goal, they pass him the ball, and every time he gives them belief. That's not hype, that's leadership, that's greatness. But this is where Yamal really separates himself, the part you can't measure with stats. Because talent gets you noticed, but mentality makes you last. We've seen this story before, wonder kids hyped to the moon only to vanish under pressure. Bojan, Deulofeu, Munir. Each one looked destined for greatness until the pressure broke them. But Yamal? He's different. Watch him closely. No matter the stage, a Clasico, a Euro final, or a World Cup qualifier, his face never changes. He's calm, composed, and completely unbothered. He plays with the confidence of someone twice his age, but still relatively humble, like he is someone who is still learning. He listens to Xavi, he respects veterans, but when the whistle blows, he's not scared to carry them throughout matches. That balance, that mix of humility and authority is what makes Lamine Yamal rare. And also, look at how he handles mistakes. He doesn't throw tantrums and yell at the other players. He doesn't lose focus either. He just adjusts, improves, and goes again. That's absolutely GOAT DNA, and is what I personally mostly adore about Yamal. That's what separates superstars from short story players. Messi had that same hunger, of course, but he grew into it, compared to Yamal, who was born with it. When Spain went behind at the Euros, Yamal didn't hide. He took the ball, attacked defenders, and shifted the game. No fear, no hesitation. He's not waiting to become a leader, he already is one. You can coach tactics, you can train technique, but that kind of mentality, you either have it or you don't, and Yamal has it in every cell of his body. But here's the truth no one talks about. Football has completely changed throughout the years. The game Messi dominated in 2008 isn't the same game Yamal's thriving in now. When Messi broke out, the sport was slower, defenders didn't press high, spaces were bigger, systems were looser. Messi could glide through gaps that just don't exist anymore. Today, every inch is fought for, every touch is analyzed, teams press like machines, defenders are faster, analytics dictate every move. There's no room for error. And yet, this teenager is thriving on it. He's not just surviving in modern football, he's completely beating it. Yamal's football IQ is through the roof, let's be honest. He reads spaces before they open, manipulates defenders with body feints, and creates chances from nothing. He is pretty much the Einstein of football. While most young players freeze when the pitch gets tight, he finds solutions in impossible angles, like he's playing chess and everyone else is playing checkers. And his decision making? It's already elite. He knows when to pass, when to shoot, when to take on his man. He's not just flashy, he's so extremely efficient. Every move has purpose. That's what makes this conversation fair. Messi was the perfect player for his era, but Yamal might be the ideal player for the next one. He's built for a harder game in a tougher league with more pressure than ever. If Messi redefined football for his time, Yamal might just redefine it just as much for the future.
So yeah, these are my personal reasons for why Lamine Yamal is truly better than Messi. But I'd like to know your guys' take. Is Yamal actually better than Messi, or am I completely wrong and deluded? Comment your answer down below. And don't forget to like and subscribe. And have a blessed day.